concept. You have a great concept. You guys are doing it, man. And it's an honor for me to just be, you know, a small rock, man, in your mountain. I'm going to pop a top in your honor.
Mr. Doc Walker blessed us with his presence and knowledge.
We want to welcome in our next special guest, Haley Skarupa. She's a three-time world champion in women's ice hockey and most recently won Olympic gold with Team USA.
The Cap Stadium Series is definitely my favorite, obviously. I'm a huge Caps fan, I always have been, and to be there at that game with my teammates and for us to bring, you know, our gold medals to there and share it with everyone in this area was really, really special for me, and just the support and it's been tremendous from everyone in this area, and you can feel that there at that game.
Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network.
And welcome to episode 383 of Sports on the Hill podcast. And I'm joined by Lily and also by Sith and DC's People's Champ. We're doing a Victory Monday show on a Thursday. We're watching still some live NFL action. We're watching some Thursday night football on Prime and also, I should say, on Twitch, since we are also on Twitch. The Seahawks are up 17-3. So I did predict the Seahawks would win this. Did you guys each? Where were you guys on this one, Champ?
I picked Seattle. Yeah, I think I picked Seattle as well. I have to look, but I think I picked Seattle.
Yeah. So we will talk about our picks a little bit from last week. It's been an exciting week in NFL action. We're going to start off with our Commanders talk. We'll also talk a little bit of wrestling at the end of the show. But just to start off, Champ, for people that don't know, what's been happening on the No Spots podcast this week?
So we have episode 300 and 301 are currently up on all of our audio platforms. If you want to go and check that out this past week, well, 301, we talked about WrestlePalooza and we talked about All Out, and we both were in agreement that All Out was the much better show than WrestlePalooza. WrestlePalooza got way too hyped up. Too many experts thought it was like a WrestleMania light card, but it ended up basically being like a weekly show, like a Raw or SmackDown, that people actually had to pay for if they didn't have a VPN or their cable provider wasn't already on the deal where they could just join via the cable provider. So that's essentially what it was. We also went through the week in wrestling, and in final thoughts, Sith talked about a situation that has been addressed a lot, which is the fact that WWE seems to be pricing out the regular sports fan or the regular wrestling fan or the regular wrestling fan family for more profits and more capital for their business and things like that. And I also talked about my excitement for the upcoming Ryder Cup for golf coming up this weekend, actually kicking off Friday, tomorrow, which I cannot wait to watch. I'm definitely going to try to catch some of the Ryder Cup. It's one of the more exciting golf events on the calendar because it's not only for a trophy, but bragging rights between the United States and Europe. Europe won the Ryder Cup a couple of years ago in their home country, in their home continent. So now the United States is trying to win it back, and it's at one of my favorite golf tracks in the United States, Bethpage Black in New York. So I can't wait to get a look at that and see how the United States is able to bring the Ryder Cup back home on their soil.
That's awesome. And we got Sith also joining us. I know that he's a big part of that. I really enjoyed your watch along on Facebook. So it was interesting to get your perspective all night long live on that. And Seth, let people know what's happening in the basement. I'm going to give some of your shout outs at the beginning, and then I'll get you guys to have also one towards the end as well. But yeah.
We're in the middle of the top 580 songs ranked by Billboard worst to first. This show that's coming out this Sunday is numbers 350 to 301. where you have a bunch of one-hit wonders towards the top of my ranking. Because as Champ and Robbie both know, I'm big on one-hit wonders. And one of them, when I was going through the list of Safety Dance by Men Without Hats, I'm like, oh God, the video defines 80s fucking cheese in a nutshell. And you have to wonder, what were they on when they came up with this video? But then when you find out the story of how the song was made, you're like, well, that explains a lot. And also, Champ is going to, and I will also plug what's happening tomorrow and Saturday on those spots as well, because we have another PLE weekend.
Nice. Yeah, we can get into that towards the end. I do want to give a little update. Arizona and Seattle, they've run a similar number of plays, but man, Seattle's taken advantage of much more yards, and they're up 17-3. We're at 5:10 left in the third here. But I do want to get into the football action. I will mention real quickly that the Capitals have played a couple of preseason games, and they actually did play tonight, and it just went final. So the final score 5-1. We always celebrate a victory over Philadelphia, even in the preseason, in any sport. So happy to see that. And a lot of young guys doing well. At the very end of the show, I'll give a little scoring summary and talk a little bit about hockey as well, as we're starting to get into hockey season in the next couple of weeks, which is exciting. Champ, I want to start with you. This was a crazy game. It was very hard for me to get in Texas, but I was able to figure it out. Yeah, I was really excited. I thought that they did what they needed to do. It was kind of the game that we expected, but I'm very impressed with our defense over Oakland. But our ability, the punt return was obviously a huge, for momentum, but just really solid play from across the team, running back by committee. It just kind of everything that you needed to see. And I love this moment for our backup quarterback, Marcus Mariota, just for him to, you could see how choked up he got after the game in his post-game interview. Just it meant a lot to him to have this opportunity one more time. Because you don't know as a backup quarterback how many more chances you got at this. And to play against a former team, I'm sure gave him a little extra. So I was just excited in all phases. And man, we'll have to talk about that coach taking a hit on the sideline and bouncing back up, and how it sort of galvanized the entire team behind him, and they said that was a turning point for the team. But Champa, what were some of your takeaways in this game?
When Deebo Samuel took the opening kickoff 69 yards, I think you kind of felt at that point in time this was going to be a statement game for the Commanders. And sure enough, it was. One of the things that I always kept preaching when it came to the defenders during the springtime was run the football. Make that team respect that you can run the football to open up the pass. And that's what they did, running for 201 yards as a team. That is they took it back old school, the Hogs and RFK Stadium, just power football. And that was one of the keys to this one. Now, it didn't help them when it came down to the time of possession because the Raiders had an advantage on the time of possession, just barely, 31-53 to 28-07. But what also was a big key for this team was on the defensive side. 5 sacks of Geno Smith, 5 of them, with Bobby Wagner leading the way, sacking Geno Smith twice. And also getting a sack was another free agent signing who everybody said, oh, he's past his prime. He ain't worth it. XYZ. Yeah, I lost my video. I don't give a shit. But Von Miller, Von fucking Miller turned around and got himself a sack. I mean, come on now. Like, everybody swore up and down that he was past his prime. Why did we go and sign him? All this and that, all this other crap. But he went out there. He got himself a sack. Defensively, this team looked very good. They didn't force a turnover. That was the only negative, if you want to call it that, was that they didn't force a turnover. But getting 5 sacks is definitely something to hang your hat on when it comes defensively. And offensively, yeah, Marcus Mariota, he only completed 15 of 21 passes for 207 yards, but he did have the touchdown pass to Luke McCaffrey, his first career NFL touchdown in the regular season. So congratulations to him on that one. And, I mean, it was just a good team game. And then, of course, Jalen Lane, the rookie, with his first career punt return touchdown in the NFL, really cemented what was an all-around great effort by this team.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I do want to give quick shout outs for all the people that are watching. We got Low Base Guy checking us out. We're part of the team, the web community and the web creative community, and so I wanted to give him a shout out. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks to my dad for tuning in, who also mentioned the 5-1 victory as well. And so happy birthday to him. It was his birthday yesterday, and we'll be celebrating tomorrow, so it'll be awesome. So unfortunately, he's not going to love this. During the game this upcoming week is Zara's birthday party, 1 to 4. So, and I've already been forbid to put it on the TV because she said it would be too much of a draw and all the husbands would just go watch football. And my wife is not wrong on that thought process. So I understand. We'll DVR it and we'll watch it after the fact. So, you know, her fourth birthday is more important than the football game, but it'll definitely be hard not to watch it. So, but it'll be interesting. Ooh, a flea flicker attempt that went badly in this game. I just want to give a shout out to all the people that were watching, and thanks for tuning in on a Thursday. I know it's an off day, but Sith, what are some of your takeaways?
First, the Flyers mascot fucking sucks. It's one of the worst mascots in all of sports and needs to be banned forever.
You either love or hate Gritty. It's very funny because I have friends that are Caps fans that love the mascot, so it's all over the map on that one.
Champ was talking about a statement victory, which I totally am on board with. I need to call the herd because people were panicking and freaking out that JD5 wasn't playing. Look, y'all, he had a sprained knee. So what do? Do you put him out there with a sprained knee and make the situation worse? Or do you rest him up? Hopefully, if he's not ready for Atlanta, he's ready for the following week past Atlanta. No, he's brought Mariota, who knows the offense, and you get him out there, you get a statement victory. And then these same people are going, oh, we pulled it through. Oh.
I mean, I would run him again.
Us said we were going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Jaden could come back, but don't you think that you run Marcus one more time out there? I would.
I would.
Yeah.
I'd put him out there. I'd run him out there against Atlanta on Sunday and roll the dice. I think we win. It doesn't matter if it's JD5 or Marcus. I think we beat Atlanta.
Yeah. I mean, I might even say that you would run him for the next game too, and then have JD come back when we're at home, you know, and just sort of see how it goes. Because in my book, ahead of time, I thought we might lose both of these games anyway. So at that point, you know, let the team get right, let the protection get even better, and the gel a little bit more before you put them back out there. What do you think, Champ?
I think that you do, like if JD5 is not fully healthy, which I mean that's subjective to say, it's because it's football. I don't think anybody is like fully 100%, but I feel like if Mariota gives you the best chance to win, you want to give JD5 another week to get as healthy as possible from that sprained knee. I think you go for it. I think that Mariota has proven that he can start a game and be effective. He showed that against the Raiders this past week. He showed that in relief of JD5 last season in the season finale against the Cowboys. He showed that he is still a capable quarterback in the NFL and can do what he needs to do. And I think that the main concern, though, is going to be the health of our wide receiver one, which is Terry McLaurin. McLaurin right now dealing with a quad injury and has been trying to get a second, third, fourth opinion when it comes to that quad injury and whether he's going to be available for this game against Atlanta. That's going to be the main concern right there. Yes, your concern is going to definitely be JD5, but also your concern has to be with the man who you just signed to a pretty good extension, who sat out most of the preseason and everything for that extension. Now you have to wonder, like, what's his health all about? You know, is he going to be able to play against Atlanta? Is he going to be able to be effective? I mean, he only had 3 catches in his game, but for 76 yards, he almost had a touchdown. I mean, me and you both, Robbie, thought that was a touchdown. We both thought it was a touchdown. So it should have been 77 yards and a touchdown. But instead, it was 3 catches, 76 yards and no touchdowns. And then he left the game in the third quarter with that quad injury, though it seemed like he was walking pretty fine. And it seemed like he was fine. But then all of a sudden, news stories come out saying, oh, he's uncertain for Atlanta. He's getting so many different opinions and X, Y, Z. So I'll be interested to see what his status is going to be coming up with Atlanta. I think even if you don't have McLaurin out there or JD5, I think this team still has a chance to really win. Atlanta did not look good last week against Carolina. They got shut out by Carolina, and Carolina's defense is like 125th of our defense. So if they get shut out by a defense that's not that good, imagine what's going to happen when they face this defense. Even though it is on their turf, I think that this is going to be a game that the Commanders will definitely walk away with the victory on and start getting on a roll. And then you're going to get, most likely, if you don't have McLaurin playing or JD5, you get them back the following week.
It's just hard to know, like, who had the Browns beating Green Bay this week, right? You know, so, like, you know, the NFL's a weird thing. So, like, teams become, like, I don't know. I felt like last year we beat a lot of teams that surprised me, but we also lost to some teams that surprised me. And it wouldn't, you know, this is like a quintessential trap game. I do want to read this quote that my dad actually sent me right before the show. The Washington Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin may avoid undergoing surgery on that quad injury that has kept him out of practice this week, said NFL Network's Mike Garafolio. My reporting on Thursday. My understanding is that there will be no surgery, not as of right now, he said on Thursday's episode of NFL Game Day Kickoff. The prospective surgery would have sidelined him for 6 to 8 weeks, according to Adam Schefter. So that's reporting that he's like seeking multiple opinions, and so they just don't know. I would be very surprised if they played this week. I think that they need to, you know, take it easy on him, and if you want him. If you don't want to have to wait 6 to 8 weeks, I would definitely wait a week. You know, like I wouldn't just throw them out there. But it'll be interesting to see how they end up, what they end up doing with that. Seth, what are some of your thoughts?
First and foremost, healing thoughts go out to Scary Terry because, you know, it's a good thing right now that surgery is off the table, thankfully, but you still need him to rest and get better where it comes to a torn quad. And Daniel Jones is showing something in Indianapolis. The Giants coaching staff is an abysmal fucking joke. Okay? I mean, they are a complete joke right now. It's not even funny how much the Giants are being made look like absolute idiots right now. And then when I go looking on to Sunday, because I say our graphic up for Sunday, for the Sunday games, I'm looking forward to the game in Dublin Sunday morning. Steelers, Vikings. Whoever comes out of that game has a good chance of telling their division rivals, hey, guess what? We picked up an overseas win, and we might be able to do something here. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I go back and forth with this. I almost want to. I don't know. I'm so torn on this game. I definitely think that Pittsburgh could shine through, but I just don't know if I believe in their defense, you know? So
hold on a minute.
I picked Minnesota. I like what Minnesota's doing. Carson Wentz will most likely start again over JJ McCarthy. He may not be fully healed from that injury. And Carson Wentz looked absolutely phenomenal last week. So I think that if he's starting again, I think Minnesota wins this one.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I'm logging into ESPN right now.
I'm going to go backwards just for a week just to go through some of these games real fast. I'm just going to scroll through them. We got the Cleveland Browns in such a surprising upset of the Packers. The Vikings did beat the Bengals, who looked terrible with their new quarterback. The Steelers did beat the Patriots to be expected. The Eagles did beat the Rams in a surprising comeback. I thought the Rams were going to have that. And then you got the Buccaneers getting a big time win. You got us getting a big time win. You got the Jaguars holding on over the Texans. The Colts are 3-0. I mean, we expected it, but I didn't expect it that big of a blowout. This was such a huge upset. I just can't believe the Panthers, who looked terrible the first 2 weeks, A, could put up 30 points, and B, shut out any team, no less, the Falcons. We got the Chargers over the Broncos with just barely by a field goal. And then we got the Seahawks destroying the Saints. And what I love is the Bears beating the Cowboys. I had this one dead wrong. I didn't get many wrong last week, but I'm super happy I got this one wrong. The Cardinals, 49ers, I thought I was going to get that upset. And then at the very last second, the field goal took it. So I watched that one in Texas with Tommy, who's in our competition with us. And he obviously had the 49ers, so he was happy. And then the Chiefs beating the Giants expected. And then the Lions showed who they were against the Ravens. The Ravens, I thought, played a pretty good game for a lot of it, but just fumbling at the wrong time once again cost them the game, the momentum, and just very frustrating. I was obviously rooting hard for the Ravens while I was in Texas, but the Lions were able to hold on. And this is one of the times where I'm sad that I was right. A lot of people picked the Ravens in our group in this game, and I did pick the Lions, but I was hoping to be wrong. And so sorry, Tim, and that's why we don't have Tim and Michael Edgley on this show for that, unfortunately. So just disappointing. But a lot of games decided in the final 3 minutes of the game, and a lot of just crazy field goals and block field goals and just special teams plays all over. But Sith, what are your thoughts on the last week in the NFL?
Very crazy games that were called literally on the last play of the game, to say the least. I had Buffalo beating Miami. That was a no-brainer. I was one of the people that picked Green Bay winning over Cleveland. I was like, oh, fuck. But that was Cleveland showed that, hey, any given Sunday, this could happen. I think it's very important for people to understand that aspect where it comes to the NFL. Any given Sunday, you just when you think a team is down and out, boom, they find a way to beat you at the last minute and go, we got you here. One thing I got wrong was Jacksonville beating Houston. I thought that Jacksonville was going to win, but Houston pulled it out.
Actually, Jacksonville did win.
Oh, they did? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
reading it wrong. I had Houston winning, and that is an upset. Well, that didn't work. Houston's
A lot of people did, though. If you look at this, 62% of people thought that Houston wouldn't go 0-3. I think that they were betting on that. But Jacksonville's a new team. I mean, their defense looks really. They held them to 10 points. It just looks like a whole new team over there. I think that was what was failing them last year, because their offense is decently constructed, but last year their defense failed them in a lot of key moments, and I'm seeing less of that in this year's Jaguars. So I'm interested to see how much that takes them.
I think the two worst teams, though, in the league are the Tennessee Titans and the New York Giants. And God help us if they actually have a game together this season, because if they do, if y'all want to go to sleep for 3 hours, that's a game to watch, and just put yourselves down for a nap.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season for Giants fans. They keep on making their games relatively interesting. At least I really thought they were gonna beat Dallas. I'm still mad about that one from a couple weeks ago. Seth, I'm going to give you a final shout out. I said I would get you out around 10:30. I know I could ask you about all the upcoming games, but if there's a game that you do want to focus on or any more thoughts on the Falcons game, feel free to share them now.
Okay. I am taking a look at next week's games, and I am very intrigued let me pick one out here real quick. I'm scrolling down, scrolling. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. Now, both teams are going into this game undefeated Sunday afternoon, which will be on Fox. And I have to wonder, right now I've got Philadelphia winning, but could Tampa Bay pull off a shocker, though, and beat the team that a lot of people are saying could go back to the Super Bowl?
It's funny about the Eagles is I feel like they're not. They're a 3-0 team, but they got lucky in a lot of these games, and I feel like
I got plenty to say about the game they had against the Rams.
Yeah, so where in Tampa Bay, I feel like maybe they haven't beaten the same caliber teams as the Eagles, but they did just sign somebody who's supposed to like be designed just to stop the tush push. He's like, a giant lineman that they're gonna try to clog in there. They just hired. I forgot his name, so it'll be interesting to see how they're able to stop the Eagles, who just seem almost lucky. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I don't know. They should have lost that last game. But I want to get Champ's thoughts on that real quick.
I'm going to quote something that Sip always seems to quote anytime a situation like this comes up. Los Angeles Rams, how do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up? How are you up 19 points on the reigning Super Bowl champs in the third quarter and lose? How? There ain't no way we should be sitting here talking about the Eagles being 3-0. They were down 19 in the third quarter. And they came back and scored, what was it? I think it was 26 unanswered points. I know it was over 20 unanswered points to win that game, including blocking a field goal that would have given the Rams the win. They block it in order to take it from a 1-point win to a 7-point win for the Eagles. That's crazy. And Charbonnet just scored, which helps my fantasy team. Let's go, Charbonnet. Oh, never mind. There's a flag. But anyway, Rams, y'all absolutely fucked it up. Y'all deserve to lose at that point. I don't know what to say, except that's all I have to say, except why, how, and what the fuck.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I got that quote from is a film by David Cronenberg called The History of Violence of Viggo Mortensen, which is one of Cronenberg's underrated films because it's not body horror. It's not the body horror that you're used to with Cronenberg, who directed like The Fly from '86, for example. That remake that was really, really good that I really love. But yeah, note to the Rams, you're supposed to be one of the top teams in the league, and you fuck this up.
By the way, I actually saw The Fly in movies when I was a young kid. I actually had a drive-through. It's one of the few childhood memories I have.
Yeah, you told me that. I was like, because that was something I was recommending people to watch one week. And Champ's like, Sid, I saw that in theaters when I was a kid. I was like, fucking hey, dude.
I do want to say hi to Troy, who's watching on Facebook. So thank you for people watching on any of the platforms. We are live on Kick, YouTube, Facebook, and obviously our central location here on Twitch, where you can catch Pokemon that you're seeing live on screen if you're wondering what that is, or any of the other graphics and stuff like that. It said Emperor Palpatine. So we got friends that are playing the game while they're watching. But Sith, I'll let you have your final thoughts before we get you out of here, because I know that your time is short. Yeah. And what are some of your final thoughts?
Some of my final thoughts are as follows. One, Washington can make another big statement beating Atlanta. Please go ahead, said JD5, said Scary Terry. We can carry the rock, get the job done in Atlanta. And Rigo's Rag did a little bit of an estimation up to week 8 and had us at 5-2, only losing to the Chiefs in the stretch of games.
I mean, that would be really nice. I think that the Chargers will be tough next week on the road as well. But we'll see. So 2nd and goal right now from the 12-yard line.
By the way, the hold was on Jackson Smith and Jigba, who has been pretty much shut out in this game. He had 0 targets the first half. He did make a catch early on in the third, but yeah, he's been pretty much held in check in this game.
A running goes backwards, which is exactly what you don't want to be doing in the red zone. So it's going to be 3rd and a mile in the red zone here on the goal line. I think he went back about. So you never want to go. Gotta go north. Don't go south. I think he loses 5 yards, right, in that exchange. But
hang on, you're way ahead of me, dude. I still got a 2nd and go off a false start.
What? How?
I don't know.
It's prime. Shouldn't it be the same for everybody?
No.
There was one night when Champ was live reacting. It was the live reaction he did a couple of weeks ago when we were playing Green Bay, and I was like a down and a half in front of him the entire night.
That's wild. I thought that at least prime would be more consistent. Anyway, but yeah.
But tomorrow night on No Spots, Champ and I have a special final thought that we're shooting back and forth. I don't know what he's got to say about it. He doesn't know what I have to say about it. But we're doing a mutual final thought discussion tomorrow night involving something that happened on AEW last night as far as reveals are concerned. Also, that'll be episode 302. That'll be on our Twitch and Kick channels. And then Saturday night on Twitch, Kick, and Facebook, 6:55 p.m. Champ and I will be live reacting to NXT No Mercy, which is a 6-match card, including a weaponized cage match, which should be very intriguing to say the least, as Jordan Grayson, Blake Monroe, who's a good friend of Champ, off air, is, they're going to be in a steel cage match. Champ and I will be previewing that pay-per-view tomorrow night as well on No Spots, episode 302. And on Sith's Basement this Sunday, 5 p.m. on Spotify, we've got part 4 of the top 580 songs, numbers 350 to 301, which has got some of my favorite one-hit wonders of all time in there. So that's what we got going on.
Yes. Well, thank you, Sith. No. It's TBD next Monday. We are, just real quickly for people to know this, we are doing a 10 o'clock show on Monday because we're going to do hibachi dinner for my daughter. For all of the grandparents are going to do dinner together with her the night before her birthday, or a couple nights before her birthday, because we're all going to be together. And so because of that, I'm going to just do a 10 o'clock football show, just like we're doing tonight, and not do the multi-hour thing. But Sith, I always appreciate your insight. Definitely go check him out on The Basement and also the No Spots podcast. And I'm going to do the Champ and Sith commands again, so you can find all of those links there. Also, you can always go to sportsothp.com, click the podcast partners button. You can find some of the links there, and also the team SportsOTHP buttons. You can find bios about Sith and Champ and links to their socials over there as well. But Sith, I appreciate your time as always, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, you guys, take it easy. Have a good show.
All right, thank you. All right.
That's so funny. You say you're doing hibachi for Zara's birthday, and me and Jess really just went and did hibachi just as a date night this past Saturday night, which is why Sith was doing live reaction solo. So that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because so Benihana's was the place I went to as a kid for birthdays. My parents always took me there as like a dinner and a show kind of thing. And then we took Zach's not the best eater, like he's very picky, and so we took him for his birthday there to try to encourage him. Starting at you're now 7, let's try new foods. They'll cook it right in front of you, just get the excitement about it. And he tried so many new foods that night, and it was amazing. And Zara loved the show, and so I was like. So I suggested to her, I was like, we could do hibachi, we could try to find something else. But she's like, oh, I like that fire and and stuff like that. So she was all excited about that. So
yeah, we went to Sake Japanese Steakhouse in Alexandria. It's off of Eisenhower Avenue. Big shout out to them. It's a really, really nice establishment. It's a small establishment, but it's really, really nice. We went there, and there was a couple that was sitting almost diagonally across from us that the guy looked like he was about 8 sheets to the wind instead of 3. He was way, way gone, yet he still had the wherewithal to at least eat some of his food. And they left before we got our show and everything like that. So, and the food was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Jess really enjoyed it. And so I would definitely, if you're in Virginia, I would definitely check out Sake Japanese Steakhouse on Eisenhower Avenue. It's a really, really nice spot. And very, very like fairly priced as well. It's like $30 to $50 per person. Nice. For the most part. So it's like really, really fairly priced, and you get a good portion of food for that, and it's like really, really delicious.
That's awesome. I'm going to switch to this graphic, and then I'm going to do CNFL 2. Is this right? CNFL, yeah. Is that right? Hold on. Oops. I'm trying to change the graphic. There we go. God, it took too many commands. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFL in general. First, I'll let you go back to last week since I gave Sith an opportunity to talk about it, but I want to get your thoughts. Week 3 was just kind of absolutely bonkers. Is there any game you want to talk about before we head on to the upcoming week?
Well, we already talked about Philly and LA and how that one shouldn't have gotten the way it did. But Tampa Bay, it looked like they were dead in the water after that block field goal that was taken back for a touchdown. Aaron Glenn showing that man still got legs at his age, and then hitting the little dance. They actually memed that with the song September by Earth, Wind & Fire, which is absolutely hilarious. I think I sent it to y'all in the group chat. That shit is hilarious. But then for them to come back from that, and then even the head coach in his press conference, when he was asked about that, he said, excuse my language, but he's like, are you fucking shitting me? And then for them to come back and drive it down the field for a game-winning field goal just shows you that this Todd Bowles team is different. That team is different. Baker Mayfield is different, but once again, it seems to be the prevailing thing when it comes to this team. Every season, Mike Evans is hurt, and he's probably going to be out for a while. He has another injury. Mike Evans, I don't think Mike Evans has played a full season since he was drafted, because it seems like he always seems to miss a game to like an entire season with some kind of injury. The man cannot stay healthy. He is one of the best wide. He could be considered
one of my favorite wide receivers because he was an Aggie, right? I rooted for him in college.
Yeah,
I
mean, he could be one of the best and one of the best all-time receivers, but the problem is that the man can't stay on the field to really show that he is one of the best receivers of all time because he just can't stay on the field. And once again, he's now looking like he's probably not going to be on the field for a while with some kind of injury, and it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do with that. That rookie wide receiver they got, that kid is nice. He is really good. And I think that even if you don't have Evans in there, you have him and you have Godwin. I think they're going to be just fine. I think they're going to be just fine, honestly.
Yeah. Jaguars team is nice. Like, I feel like I think they had like an off year last year, if I remember, but they were sort of building something over the previous couple of years, and now I feel like their defense is starting to pick up some slack where that was really one of their big weaknesses last year.
The one year I don't draft Travis Etienne in any of my fantasy teams, and he suddenly wants to be a good running back. Like that pisses me off because any other year I pick up Etienne in the draft of fantasy, and he's like absolute garbage. But the one year I say I'm not drafting that dude, and suddenly he's like really good, and I'm like over it at this point.
That's funny. The Colts just Danny Dimes
Dimes.
Yeah. 41 points in Tennessee. That's impressive. I know he's got
clearly it was New York. It wasn't Danny Dimes. It was New York.
Right. Good supporting cast though. Good structure, and Man, that's probably one of the biggest surprises early in the season is this Colts team. Um, I'm still nervous about this Falcons team. I know they're not going to put up a game this bad 2 games in a row, and I just still can't believe it's Carolina Panthers. I'm hoping Seth is right, and this is a team, but I don't know. We always
Penix has struggled. Penix has struggled, and he has a good wide receiver core. He has a tall wide receiver core, and most cornerbacks are not that tall. Oh, what a catch by Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, he looked like his daddy on that one. Nice. What a catch!
Yes. Oh, I just saw it. Nice.
Wow. He looked like his daddy on that one.
Yeah.
Wow. But no, Penix is struggling, and a lot of his receivers. He has some very tall receivers. Most cornerbacks are not that tall, so he has receivers that can go up and get the ball, but he's just not having the time to make those plays. And they're not utilizing Bijan Robinson in the run game as much either. And I think that's what's really hurting them offensively. I think that if they could get the run game going with Bijan Robinson, and that's one thing I fear when it comes to this Commanders team, we were able to somewhat stop the run with Vegas. Vegas only ran for 93 yards as a team, including rookie Ashton Genty, who only had 63 yards but didn't have a touchdown. But Las Vegas's offensive line is not the best. So that isn't a really good litmus test. This could be a better litmus test because Falcons' offensive line is a little bit better than Vegas, and so if we're able to stop their run game and force them to be one-dimensional and pass, I think that's where we're going to have the advantage.
Yeah. This Chargers Broncos game, just another one of those crazy endings, a walk-off 43-yard field goal, and basically with 2.5 minutes left, they were down 10, they were down 7, and they ended up winning by 3, and credit to the Chargers for picking it up over the Broncos, who are a pretty decent team in their own right. I thought this was an interesting.
People seem to forget Bo Nix was in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year with JD5. And he had a late surge last season where he almost took that award from Jaden, but Jaden was more consistent throughout the year, and so that's why Nix wasn't able to take it from JD5. But he had that late surge, and my goodness, he's really good. He seems like he hasn't regressed yet in his sophomore year. This was a tough one for them to lose, but yeah, I think that he's going to be nice.
So it's now 20-13, 5:45 left. We've got Seattle has the ball again. I'll be interested to see if they're able to drive the ball and take some of this clock, or if they give the Cardinals one more crack at this thing, because they're now down just a touchdown. I do want to get your thoughts on this Bears-Cowboys game real quick before we flip to the new one, but just for that offensive line to not allow a sack, I mean, the Cowboys are so stupid for getting rid of their best defensive weapon, because their defense has looked pretty awful for the whole season so far.
It's almost akin to what the Giants did, like letting Saquon go in free agency, and he ends up in their division, and he ends up winning a ring. This is that same situation. You let go of your star player, one of your best players on your team, and now he's going to shine on another team, and I think that's what's going to happen. As a matter of fact, they play each other on Sunday night. And I think that's been the storyline of this one, is the fact that, that Micah Parsons is returning to Dallas literally just a few weeks after getting traded away by Dallas. And now he's coming back, but this time in a different uniform and everything like that. And I think that he's going to be just like he was on Thursday night against the Commanders last week. He's going to be a disruptor, and Dak Prescott is going to be feeling that man's hands, feet, and dick on him all night long.
True. All right. Let's on that great note. We're gonna go to week 4 and take a look at it. So we're watching this live game, this Vikings Steelers game. We talked about it a little bit. I'm going back and forth on this because I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is pretty. He turns back the time. Sometimes, and I just pretty.
Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers did this week pass Brett Favre for 4th place on all-time touchdown passes. So, I mean, he's still, climbing the ladder, and he has DK Metcalf out there. They don't have George Pickens, but he has DK Metcalf. That Pittsburgh team, it can be a very tough team. But I'm like I said earlier, I'm going with Minnesota because I think that Carson Wentz is going to play, and Carson Wentz, when they had Carson Wentz in there, that team looked like world beaters.
Yeah.
JSN!
Oh, I missed it. What happened?
JSN going down the field, making a catch at the sidelines, keeping both feet in and getting out after getting 0 targets in the first half. And Jackson Smith-Njigba has absolutely turned it on. Look at this. Beautiful. And Darnold just dropping it in the bucket on that one. The DB had no chance.
Yeah, I'm a whole play ahead of you, and there's a lot that goes on after that. So sorry, so I missed that whole play, and then there's
I mean, Darnold just dropped that right into the bucket, and Njigba had great body control to catch it, get both feet down. He only has 3 catches for 57 yards, but again, he didn't have a single target in the first half, and now he's just absolutely killing it. Oh, by the way, we got to send prayers out to Nick Bosa, man. Man suffered a season-ending injury, a torn ACL. So San Fran's defense just took a hell of a blow, losing him for the season. I mean, so tragic.
Yeah, there's been a lot of these season-ending injuries early this season,
especially soft tissue. And listen, this isn't a new issue. This has been going on for like the last 6 years. That soft tissue injuries, especially like soft tissue tears, have increased over the last 5-6 seasons.
Yeah. You wonder if there's a correlation to some of this, like less preseason, less playing in preseason. I don't know. It's interesting because injuries seem to go up even if they're not happening in the preseason. But it's just like in the first 6 weeks of these regular seasons, you're seeing an uptick in them. So I got Buffalo Bills, New Orleans Saints. This is a pretty easy one. 99% of people picked the Buffalo Bills, so I'm not going to get into that one. Lions, Browns, it just seems interesting just because the Browns did beat Green Bay, but for me, the Lions just look too good. I can't see the Browns repeating that.
The two-headed monster of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs at running back, Goff looking good, quarterback. Amon-Ra St. Brown, though Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of caught a little bit of controversy after he scored the touchdown on Monday night. Oh man, get on the camera and said, "I run this shit." Oh man, I thought that was. I said to a friend of mine, I said, "Look, I'm about to start doing that when I play Madden. When I make a score, I'm gonna be like, I run this shit." But no. You got to pick Detroit in this one, man. Detroit is just like on another level here. They're looking like the same team they were last season, honestly.
I can't. They have so many new coaches. It's incredible what the head coach was able to do with so many different 2 different coordinators, and like a total of I think it was 7 different coaches. Then and so
Dan Campbell clearly knows what he's doing as a head coach. That he has that many new coaches, and his team still looks like a team that you just don't want to face.
Yeah. Wait, did they miss the field goal?
I don't know. I just got Charbonnet getting taken down on 3rd down, so it's now 4th down.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If he did miss the field goal, that's gonna be huge. With only less than 4 minutes to go, and Arizona only down 1.
Yeah. They just replayed it, so I'll let you see it for yourself.
I like the jerseys that the Cardinals are wearing too. It's like the new rivalry jerseys that they said they're going to be. Jesus, he shanked that one. That went way right.
Yeah, it looks like they got blood on their jerseys, so it's weird, right? A little bit like the spotted.
It's they explained it during the broadcast. They said that it's basically like the desert. It's supposed to be like a rendition of the desert in that situation where he spoke and that's what that was. But man, he sliced it when he should have faded it, or he should have hooked it, or he should have hit a draw, but instead he hit a slice.
Yeah.
For those who watch golf.
Yeah. So I'm much further. I'm already in second down and 3:09 left in this. But anyway, so we got the Patriots and the Panthers. I think I'm going to pick the Patriots at home on that one. I don't know. I don't really believe in the Panthers that much, but I mean, both these teams kind of suck. I mean, it's not big.
The Panthers. I pick the Panthers. I don't know. Something about this Panthers team. Something's about to happen with them. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we'll see. Chargers, New York Giants. I feel like the New York Giants have got to get a win at some point, but I don't know if it's going to be against the Chargers. This team is still just a couple. Well, it was pretty good.
Well, when it comes to the Giants, they're turning to Jackson Dart. They gave Russ 3 games and Russ couldn't get them a win, so they're going with Jackson. So I picked the Chargers though, because I don't know if Jackson Dart got it in him. At least against the Chargers.
Know, right? The Chargers have looked pretty good.
Oh, what a catch!
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh no, I think they say it was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Good catch, but out of bounds. I think it's Tushy hit the.
Yeah.
His hand hit his other foot, didn't even get down before it. Yeah, so that was a really good effort, I will say. Really good effort.
I'm trying not to spoil things, so that's why I'm letting you tell everybody what's going on, because I'm like clearly ahead of you. The Eagles versus the Bucs. Who do you got in this? Do you think the Buccaneers could do it at home?
I think I picked the Eagles on this one, but this is another game that I think is going to be fun to watch, especially with the way Baker Mayfield is playing. They won't have Mike Evans most likely, but I think that the Bucs are going to make it very interesting. I was laughing my tail off with them wearing their old creamsicle unis when they played last week. But against the Jets, but I think this is going to be a really tough. This is going to be a tough matchup for the Eagles, but I think the Eagles pull it out.
Yeah, I do too. All right, Texans have been on the verge of victory a couple of times this season, where I feel like the Titans have just seemed bad, really bad, like not even close to winning a lot of these games. And so I'm picking the Texans at home. Just finally getting a win here. Do you think what are your thoughts?
I'm actually going with Tennessee. I think that this is their breakthrough here because of the fact that Texans have been, so close in games but haven't been able to pick one up. I think this is another situation where they're going to be close in this one, but Tennessee will find a way. So that's why I'm actually going with Tennessee on this one. I think they finally break through.
Yeah. Wow, huge play here.
Yeah, I want to see this huge play here because on my screen it's 4th down.
Yeah.
I want to see this. This is huge right here. Let's see. Oh, not Seattle trying to get the crowd hyped up and they're on the road. Like, relax, dude. Like, fucking relax. Okay. What are they gonna do? 4th and 4. Oh, what a catch! First down.
That's the reaction I wanted.
Hey, Mr. Wilson. One-handed, pretty much. Wow.
Great placement, though, to give him an opportunity to get that yak, get through it. He needed all of that.
Nice.
I love how I'm in a commercial break so far away from where you are. I'm just like, you still have two plays. Anyway, well, you watch the next play.
Well,
Man.
second and two. They're getting down to the 2-minute warning. Nope. What are you doing, Murray? Murray doing all of that bullshit, spinning around and dancing and shit. Come on, dude.
There you go. All right, so you're at the 2-minute warning now?
Yes, I'm at the 2-minute warning.
Okay.
That was a weird play right there. I don't know. I guess the coverage was too good downfield for him to even do anything with that.
Yeah. We got Colts and Rams. I don't know. It's hard to pick against the Colts right now, but I do believe in the Rams. I do think the Colts are going to get a loss at some point, and I don't know. What are your thoughts on this one?
I like Danny Dimes and the Colts in this one. I'm actually picking them. I think they got this one. But again, another one is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. This next one's also tough. Another 4 o'clock tough game. 49ers, Jaguars. It's in San Francisco. They barely squeaked by last week against Arizona. The Jags have a pretty good defense. I am going to pick the 49ers because I do think they're a little bit of a better team, but not an easy pick.
I think that I picked San Fran in this one. They may have Brock Purdy back, or they may still be with Mac Jones. Either way, I think they take this one, though the Jags, like you mentioned earlier, they have been looking really, really, really good so far this season. But I think San Fran takes this one.
I want to give a shout out to the Mammoth. I haven't called a Mammoth goal yet. They were just called the Utah hockey team last year. And so the Mammoth are up 2-0 on the hated Golden Knights. So,
wait, stop. Time out. So the Utah Hockey Club is now known as the Mammoths.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Who came up with that idea? Did they vote on that? If they voted on that, they're all stupid.
They were going to be the Utah Yetis, which has been better, but Yeti, the drink company, wouldn't let them do it. Which I think there was like a whole entire marketing thing that they could have done together. I feel like that was actually a bad move by Yeti. And he's also confusing a drink with a fucking hockey team. But anyway, like...
That's an easy sponsorship deal right there. Yeah. Like, that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
So fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. I can't.
We are watching the game. Troy was asking if we're watching the game right now.
Yeah, 3rd and 9, a 2-minute warning for the Cardinals on my end. What does he got?
I got 1:21 left on my screen.
Nice. Yeah. Little screen pass and a first down. They only have each team has 2 timeouts, and Cardinals are not using it.
Where is the timeouts shown on the screen?
It's where you see the first and 10. Look to your right. Yeah.
I don't love that. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It doesn't. I don't know. I like it when it's above or below. I think it's easier to read.
Yeah, I mean, aesthetically,
I see
all blitz.
I don't know. I like the new Fox scoreboard that they have. That's like my new favorite one, I think. Like it's clean, you can see through it.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I think that they've done a nice job with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one. That one's pretty cool as well, honestly.
Yeah. It's cool that I pay attention to that stuff now since of Madden and stuff like that, comparing it to like all the different options. Troy was asking, does JD5 play this weekend? So earlier we were thinking that we don't know if he's going to play. I mean, he's cleared and he's been playing in a lot of more practice and a lot of players that I have much more questions about. But I still, if it's my choice, I would play Marcus Mariota for 1 more week and see how they do. For me, I'd actually maybe play him for 2 more weeks and bring him back at home and just give him a little bit of that home cushion and give him 2 more weeks just to make sure that it's all right. And
A little high there for Trey McBride, who's been a nice target for Murray in the passing game this game. That would have been a huge conversion for a first down and got them in goal line situation to try to tie this game up.
Yeah, for sure. This is an exciting ending here. I've got 1:16 left on my end.
They just called a timeout.
Yeah, so I'm seeing the play after that right now.
Yeah, they just Cardinals just called their second timeout of the half.
Oh shit!
Okay. Well, I got 30. I'm 30 seconds. I'm at least 30 seconds behind you because this is a 30-second timeout. So,
all right,
we'll see. 3rd and 5. I mean, Kyler Murray's thrown 2 interceptions in this game, and one of them wasn't even his fault. It was in Marvin Harris's hands, and he had it like this, and he just said, "Oh," and it went into the hands of the Seahawks defender. But the first interception he threw, he overthrew fucking Marvin Harrison and went straight to the defender. So hopefully he doesn't throw a 3rd interception here.
So Troy, who do we play after the Chargers? And the answer is the Bears, live on our show.
Oh, there it is. Mama, there go that man again. Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh man. Seattle. I think him and Kyler finally figured it out. That continuity and that connection. They finally figured it out in this half. Because they were looking all out of sync in the first half. Oh, score a touchdown. Why don't you? I did pick Seattle, though, so I want them to actually stop them. But I actually want to see this game get more exciting because this game is
I like exciting games, and we're covering it live, so why not? But I did also pick Seattle. Yeah. And so in 2 weeks, it'll be live on ABC. While we're watching it, will be a watch along. So that'll be on the 13th.
Let's see what happens. Let me see what happens. Got the replay of the catch by Harrison that got them in the 1st and goal territory. Witherspoon just looks like he don't know what the hell he's doing on that one. Jesus Christ, dude. All right. Look at that. 1 catch for 8 yards in the first half. 5 for 58 and a touchdown second half. So 6 for 66 yards and a touchdown for the game for Marvin Harrison, who they kept saying, "Oh, he's struggling. He's struggling." Well, looks like he's starting to get out of that struggle. Caught. Oh, he's in! Touchdown! What the?
I like it. You said it exactly the second the scorebot put it up in the chat. It was pretty funny.
Nice. Very nice. What a drive. 12 plays, 57 yards to possibly tie the score.
Yeah, we agree, Troy. We were saying that Terry relaxes. I mean, they were thinking that he may need a surgery. He would be out 6 to 8 weeks. So we need him to make sure they make the right call on this. And if you need to see specialists and second opinions, then so be it. Especially if you're giving a man like that a big contract, you want to make sure you're making the right call here, surgery or no surgery. I
really hope with next year, them bringing the ABS to baseball, they bring that to MLB The Show's a game next year, because I literally just threw a pitch that was a whole strike and it got called a ball and he walked.
Yeah, no, I
want to have the option to go like this so they can review it and call it a strike and give me a strikeout. Yeah, that was crazy.
If you haven't heard the new agreement, it's 2. You get 2 shots at it. And they already have a sponsorship deal with T-Mobile for it.
And they say that you get the 2 shots, and if you win one of them, you retain it.
Yeah, so I think you keep retaining them as long as you win them. So I think if you could get 10 of them if you keep getting them right. They said you retain all of them as long as they're right. So they didn't seem to put a stipulation like you just get one more if you get both. So,
and I also don't think it's going to slow down the game either, because it doesn't take very long for that to be done, because you already have replay. You already have replay in the game for stuff like that. So why not add the ABS in there? Because I saw a lot.
Wow.
I know we're talking football, but I saw a lot of missed balls and strikes calls in this season.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good penalty.
So they just showed next gen stats. There was earlier in this quarter, the Cardinals had 4% chance to win this game, and it's now tied. So yeah.
Oh, that's not a good thing by the kicker not getting it into the landing zone. That puts the Seattle Seahawks on the 40 with only 28 seconds left and a timeout. Oh, that kicker might be looking for a new job next week.
Yeah. And Troy was saying he loves Madden 26. Yeah, Champ and I both have been playing Madden. What system are you playing it on, Troy? I know that Champ's been playing it on Xbox, and I've been playing it on Switch too, which I'm super thankful that it even exists for Nintendo again. It's been a lot of fun for sure. All right, I've got 12 seconds left on my end. You tell me when you see this next play.
Yeah, I'm waiting. It's at 2nd and 10, 23 seconds left after the incompletion by Darnold. I think that Darnold has had a career resurgence since his time in Minnesota after JJ had to miss the season last year. I think that Darnold's seen a career resurgence, and he's showing it here with Seattle. Having Seattle be 2-1 so far this season, I mean, just really, really well done. Oh, there go that man again, JSN. Tick, 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 tick. Oh, timeout.
But they're going to review this because I think he got out of bounds.
Well, and if he got out of bounds, they retain their timeout.
I know. It's a big review from the booth right now. Ooh, I think they should give it to him. Give him the timeout. Make it more exciting. Come on.
Yeah, I think he got out of bounds. Yeah, I think they're going to retain their timeout, and that's going to make these more. That's going to give them more options on what they can do on this play with 12 seconds. Even they can go to the sidelines, or they can stay in the middle of the field because they have that timeout to be able to get their field goal kicker on, who already missed the field goal, but get him on and try to win the game.
Get his redemption story live here. So.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah, he needs a redemption.
Right. This is a good game to cover live. This is fun.
Yeah, this is. And you know what's funny? I said it earlier. I said this game was kind of boring, but damn, did they just say, "All right, you know what? Hold our beer.
Mm-hmm.
Hold our fucking beer." Oh, they gave it to him. They say he said he made it out of bounds.
That's big.
So they retained. They gave back the timeout.
Yeah.
And there's going to be 16 seconds left on the clock.
Real quickly.
18 seconds, my bad.
Yeah, real quickly. Ravens, Chiefs, both 1-2. Sort of surprising here. Do you think the Ravens can go into Kansas City and win? I know they're the better team, but they've been finding ways to lose.
If they can fix the problems with the fumbles, I think they beat the Chiefs. Honestly, I think they beat the Chiefs. I picked the Ravens to win this one. I think they, like you said, I think they are the better team. And it's crazy to say that about a team who's been in the Super Bowl 4 out of the last 5 fucking years. Well, 3 out of the last 4 fucking years. But I think that the Ravens will go into Kansas City and be victorious. But they have to deal with the turnover situation. They can't be giving up the ball like they have.
Oh, man. Interesting play call there.
I see they got the field goal kicker. Look like he getting ready. Jason Myers is 63% on lead-changing field goal attempts in the last 2 minutes or overtime in his career. So he's not automatic, but they still have a shot.
All right, real quick, let's go through a couple of these games real fast.
Let's go.
Raiders, Bears. I don't know.
Raiders.
Yeah, I think that they do win at home. All right, we got Packers, Cowboys. I think
Packers.
Yeah, he's gonna have a game, right? Do you know that they wouldn't give him a refund on this suite? So he bought one of the suites for the season. They traded him, and he still has to pay for the whole suite. Like that's some fucking bullshit.
Are you surprised? Are you fucking surprised? Jerry Jones is a petty dude, man. I thought we all knew this by now. Jerry Jones is petty. I'm not surprised he's not giving him a refund back for that shit.
But he's already traded him. That's just bullshit. It's not like
he's petty. I'm not surprised. He's petty. He's a petty dude.
Parsons was joking around saying he has plenty of seats for the game because he had a soapbox. Supposedly his parents still use it and go in Cowboys gear every game.
Interesting.
I mean, I saw that online, so I don't know how much I believe that, but it's a thing I read. But
all right, Myers for the win, and he got it.
There you go.
Seattle wins. They almost choked it away, but they managed to do it. They managed to win.
How pissed are all those fans though that stayed to the end? You know, like at least it's a West Coast game, right? So it's a couple of hours.
It's in Arizona, so it's like 9:18.
Yeah, so it's not terrible.
Because Arizona is the only state in the union that doesn't recognize daylight savings.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me. Actually, I thought that there was 2 places in the United States. Wasn't there a place in like Kentucky or something?
Probably, I don't know. I just know that the entire state of Arizona, they don't recognize daylight savings.
Yeah.
So much so that they have their own time zone, I believe.
Interesting.
I mean, you can look it up on ChatGPT, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah, let me see.
Kyler Murray looking like he tried to clutch up a 1v3 in COD and got absolutely shit on. That's what an ending to this game. Honestly, what an ending. Like I said, this game was just very uneventful for most of this game. And then all of a sudden in the second half, they just said, all right, you know what? We need to start turning it up here.
Yep. All right, so here we go. The answer, Hawaii was the other one.
Okay.
And Arizona, except for the Navajo Nation. So part of Arizona does observe daylight savings, which is confusing.
That's weird.
I think another state also part of it used to, but they've changed because I thought that there was a part of Kentucky that didn't, or one of those South states. Anyway, several territories also don't: Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, Northern Marina Islands, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So, anyway, fun facts. All right, we got the Dolphins jerseys next week look fire. I'm so excited about those jerseys. I don't know if you've seen those. It's like the underwater at night jerseys. It's like black jerseys with water lettering on it. They are awesome.
Those must be their rivalry jerseys because they are facing the Jets. So that's probably their rivalry jerseys.
Yeah. So I'm picking them just because of the jersey. Like, I have no reason. I mean, both these teams really suck, and it's in Miami, but solely on that, though.
Listen to Robbie. Yo, Miami's jerseys are fire, but both of these teams suck. Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's true. They have 0 wins between them, so, you know, at least somebody will hopefully get a win. Watch these teams tie.
Right, I'm about to say, imagine these two teams go at it on Monday Night Football and they tie and they go 0-3-1. Imagine.
Well, no, it's a 7:15 start time, so when we are going live at 10 o'clock, it'll be right at the end of the game. So hopefully we'll be covering overtime and a tie game when we go live.
I will absolutely lose my fucking shit if we go into Sports on the Hill on Monday and these motherfuckers are tied. It's about to be a tie game. I will lose my absolute fucking mind.
So stay tuned for that. The 10 o'clock start next Monday. All right, the last game is going to be an 8:15 start, so it'll be more in the middle of our show. Broncos and Bengals. I got the Broncos because Cincinnati lost.
Broncos country, let's ride. Bo Nix, let's ride. Let's go.
Jake
Browning is not him. I mean, he was him when he came in relief of Burrow when he first got hurt, but then last week, boy.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else for week 4 in the NFL you want to talk about before we jump in and then you give me a little wrestling update?
I mean, just again, a really good game between Seattle and Arizona. I almost called them Phoenix. Took it back, about to take it back on them. Really good game out in the desert between two NFC West rivals. Seattle managing to pull it out, but they definitely got some things they need to clean up here. Jackson Smith and Jigba getting shut out in the first half, but then turning it up in the second half. If that offense is going to be effective, they need to get him in the game early and often, and they have to utilize that two-headed threat that they have at running back with both Kenneth Walker III and Charbonnet. If they're going to avoid being in close games like this, because otherwise they could be in a close game like this again, but not pull it out like they did here. So they definitely have some things to work on moving forward.
Yep. I just wanted to give updated standings looking at that. One of my groomsmen, Benson, is still leading the pack. And then Pete, my best man, is so I'm battling the guys in my wedding right here at the top of the pack. But it's all pretty close. It's only about 50 points separate you, Champ, and Benson. So it's all very close. Almost all of us got this one right that I actually remembered to pick.
Hey, Vincent, if you watch it, I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
There you go. I like
Don't
it.
sleep. Don't sleep.
I for my week 3 picks, I was pretty proud of myself with getting 12 correct this week, 4 wrong. So we'll see how we do this week. Tune in on Monday. We'll recap our picks and obviously preview the next week. That'll probably be one of our last ones that we're going to do that for. Again, a 10 o'clock start. And then going forward, we are, just want to give a quick little update on the upcoming stuff. On the 6th will be our last episode where we do football first. And we will recap the Chargers game and preview the Bears game. That'll be the following Monday. And then we'll do like a hockey recap at the end of the show. And then on Monday the 13th, it's going to be back to hockey at the beginning, but we'll be live watching that Bears game. And then we'll have football at 10 o'clock. So
Caps have been looking good so far in the preseason.
Yeah, I've been very impressed. They actually played this game tonight in a pretty cool location. So we have a minor league affiliate, the Hershey Bears, and so they actually played this game at Hershey because a lot of the players that were playing in tonight's game are also Hershey Bears. They play on both, and they're trying to get called up to the big leagues for the first time. One of our new rookies scored a goal in this game as well. So we're down to just basically 1 or 2 forward positions that still has some movement. The rest of it's going to be kind of locked in based on what happened last year. But it seems to be a good, healthy competition for who's going to get one of those last 2 forward spots. A lot of good play from a lot of good players, and a lot of young studs are stepping up, and I'm excited. Ovechkin looks jacked. I saw a picture of him the other day. He's giving out his Ovechkin cereal. I forgot to bring it downstairs. Benson, shout out to him, did buy me 2 boxes of it over at Giant. So I can put it next to my Ovios that I still haven't opened. Shout out to that, which is actually it's for charity if anyone wants to buy those over at Giant. So cool that Ovechkin is doing that, and it'll be interesting to see how he does. He's only 3 goals away from 900, Champ. So that's going to be a fun thing to monitor as we go into the season. And who knows? He's going to have a hat trick game 1, right? We could
imagine.
He has started multiple different seasons with multi-goal games in his career, so not so crazy. A lot to look forward to in hockey. But we're going to switch gears. I'm going to stop my screen share and let you talk a little bit about wrestling here, and any other things you wanted to shout out?
Well, first and foremost, congratulations. A couple of women's championships changed hands or were awarded this past weekend during the mega events on All Out. Chris Statlander became the new AEW Women's World Champion, winning in a four-way over former champion Timeless Tony Storm, Thekla, and Jamie Hayter. Statlander actually pinned the former champion Tony Storm with the seatbelt clutch to win her first world championship. So congratulations to Stat. And then later on, Stephanie Becaire became the new women's world champion, defeating Io Sky with a version of the spiral tap to win the vacant championship, the championship that was held by Naomi before she had to relinquish it because she is out becoming a mom. And so now Stephanie Becaire is the new women's world champion. But the show WrestlePalooza started off very sour with a pretty much under 10-minute virtual squash of John Cena by Brock Lesnar after they hyped that match up so much, and the match didn't even go 10 minutes, and Brock pretty much owned Cena that whole entire match. And they've already announced that Cena's next opponent is going to be AJ Styles, coming up at the next premium live event, which is Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. But WrestlePalooza did not get a lot of good reviews from fans as well as experts. ESPN themselves, who this was on their new streaming service, actually gave WrestlePalooza a C. Didn't have very good things to say about it. They did say what me and Sip also said on 301 of the podcast, that Io versus Stephanie Becaire essentially saved the show. Because everything else is pretty much middle of the road. Cody and Drew were in the main event, and they Cody ended up retaining the undisputed WWE Championship, and AJ Lee looked like she never left. She was wrestling like she had never left, despite the fact that she hadn't been in a ring in a match in 10 years. Her and CM Punk were victorious over Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, with AJ Lee tapping out Becky Lynch with the Black Widow submission hold to get the victory for her team. And so WrestlePalooza just didn't live up to the hype that it garnered, while AEW All Out definitely exceeded the hype that they had out there with a really solid performance, a really solid show. And this week in wrestling, which we'll talk about on Friday night, all the fallout from WrestlePalooza, including it was announced that at Crown Jewel, they are bringing back the Crown Jewel Championship concept that they introduced last year when they were in Saudi Arabia. They're going to do it again in Perth, Australia, where the top champions of each division will face each other for that championship. It'll be Cody Rhodes taking on Seth Rollins, and on the women's side, it will be Tiffany Stratton taking on Stephanie Becaire, and the winners will get will have a belt that will, I think, have their nameplates that will be displayed in Australia, but they will also have a ring that signifies them as the Crown Jewel champion. So we already have three matches already confirmed for Perth for Crown Jewel, the two Crown Jewel championship matches, and AJ Styles versus John Cena as part of Cena's retirement tour. This will be, Cena only has 5 dates left on his retirement tour, and Perth is going to be one of them. Survivor Series is going to be the next one. He's going to have 3 dates, 3 of those 5 dates in November. It's going to be his last appearance in Boston, his last appearance at MSG, Madison Square Garden, and then, of course, Survivor Series in San Diego at Petco Park. And then his absolute final appearance will be actually here in D.C. for Saturday night's main event, which I may be going to. I'm waiting to see when the tickets go on sale for that, because I may take the wifey and the son for that one, honestly, because who wouldn't want to see John Cena for the very last time inside of a wrestling ring, wrestling or doing a promo, what have you, when you're probably not going to get this opportunity ever again. So we'll see.
It's so cool that they're doing it here. So that one is in November too, or is that December?
That's December.
Yeah.
I think it's December 7th. It's either December 17th or December 13th. I don't know. It's a Saturday. It'll be a Saturday in December.
Nice.
December 13th.
Nice. It's the
December 13th.
Saturday after my birthday. So yeah, that's so exciting. I hope you do get to go to that. And that'd be cool to get some footage, obviously, of the show live on your show. Now that you can do that as well. So, um, yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up there. I think they did the order of the WrestlePalooza wrong, though. I just think that they should have ended with, I know it's not a championship match and it's not always easier. If this farewell tour is as much as they're hyping it up to be, it should have been a better match, against the Beast Incarnate, and it should have been the end. Or even the Battle of the Couples, I thought was a more interesting storyline than what, some of the stuff. I don't know. I just didn't feel like the Cody Rhodes match and some of these things that they put at higher value on.
I'm a traditionalist. I feel like when you have a world title match on your pay-per-view, it should main event because that's just how I came up as a wrestling fan. Your world title usually is the one that closes the show. But I think I understand other people's opinions on it that maybe Brock and Cena. It's funny because there were reports that Brock and Cena originally was going to be the main event, but then they switched it up and made it as the first match on the night, which I'm glad it was the first match of the night because can you imagine closing the show with that? Trust me, you would have had a lot of upset people if you closed the show with that.
I don't think they would have closed the show with that, though. I think that they would have gone longer if that was the close. You don't?
No, they wouldn't. Brock, here's the thing. People don't realize Brock Lesnar at this stage of his career, at his age, and with the fact that he doesn't wrestle as often, you're not going to get a 10, 15-minute match out of Brock Lesnar. You're just not. You're not. That's why this match deserved to be on first because you're not going to get a 10, 15-minute 5-star classic out of Brock Lesnar. You're just not. You didn't even get that in his prime, honestly. But you're not going to get it at this stage in his career. Nah, you're not. It's just not going to happen.
It's just disappointing because I don't know. I agree with you that it felt like a squash match. It didn't feel like what they were hyping it up to be.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what really soured a lot of people on it was that they hyped it up because of the long history between the two.
Show though, like it just starts it on a sour note in my mind. You know what I mean? Like you've got to make up ground at that point.
Yeah. I mean, they hyped it up so much with the video packages. They even had a 3-part video package series showing the history of these two guys coming into OVW, pretty much coming up to the main roster almost at the same time, and the different paths that they took to get the stardom. I mean, Brock Lesnar came out the gates in 2002 as a star. He became a world champion while Cena was like this close to being released before he decided to go from the prototype gimmick that he had in OVW, becoming the rapper and the Dr. Thugonomics, which saved his career and ended up turning around to getting him where he is now, where he's basically a certified Hall of Famer next year, most likely. Oh, that's something else that happened on this WrestlePalooza show. Mm-hmm. They announced who's going to be the headliner for the 2026 Hall of Fame class of the WWE Hall of Fame, and it's Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, which I think it was due for that.
I agree, she is due. Here's the thing, I was very critical when they put Tori Wilson into the Hall of Fame a few years ago because I'm like, what the hell did Tori Wilson do to deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I'm not going to say that about Stephanie McMahon because not only did Stephanie McMahon help to usher in the women's revolution in 2014, 2015, but she is a former women's champion. Back in 2000, she was a women's champion. And she did a lot for the company behind the scenes, especially the first time her father resigned because of the hush money he paid for his sexual improprieties that he did back in 2022. She stepped in as a co-CEO and did a lot for this company. So I think that she deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame, not only for what she did in ring, but what she did behind the scenes as well. So
Then on
I'm
top of
actually
that,
happy about that.
her new show is getting pretty good reviews. I've heard, like, helping to bring, it's like almost like a podcast, bringing a lot of these, superstars and interviewing them and giving people an inside look and about, a peek behind the curtain, if you will.
What's your story? Like, what's your story?
Yeah. So I think that's
Matter of fact, it was that podcast that Naomi and Jimmy Uso broke the news that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Which was the worst kept secret in wrestling because everybody pretty much figured that was what was happening when her match with Io got canceled out of nowhere. And they said that, she wasn't medically clear, and everybody knew immediately. It was like, oh, she's pregnant. And then when they broke it on her podcast, it was like, okay, we kind of knew that, but we're still happy for her. But yeah, so yeah, I like I said, I like the fact that she's going in as the headliner. I'm very interested to see who else is going to go in. I think Cena goes in because he'll retire this year. I think he goes in. But I'll be interested to see who else goes in with Stephanie and possibly John Cena. I think that there was a lot of talk of Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, going in posthumously, but he didn't go in this year, so I think he goes in next year, and maybe Bray Wyatt as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That would make sense. All right. Oh, we have run longer than I ever expected, but I'm super happy that we got this whole show in, and we got a victory Monday, Thursday going on. It was a great Seattle game. I really appreciate you, Champ, and Sith for joining us, and definitely go check out. I'll do the Champ command one more time. Go check out the No Spots, the true No Spots pod on Twitch, but the No Spots podcast on other platforms. And I really love the new look, and it seems to be working out. And so go check out the 2.0, if you will. And what
we've gotten a lot of positive comments about the new look. So a big thank you to Robbie for putting in the work to put it all together and build it up and everything like that. One of our longtime supporters, Sunshine, came in and resubbed and cheered, and we got the alerts and everything. So eventually I'm going to go in and change the sound so that's more wrestling themed. But for now, just happy that we finally have alerts for stuff like that. So definitely big thank you. And speaking of No Spots, we'll be on tomorrow night for episode 302. Like Seth mentioned earlier on, we're going to be previewing NXT No Mercy. They had a title matchup this past week where it was a possibility that Trick Williams or Obafemi it was a possibility that Obafemi could have walked into No Mercy, defending both the TNA World Title and NXT Championship against Ricky Saints, but it ended in a no contest thanks to the invasion of TNA wrestlers. And so it's just going to be the NXT Championship on the line, Obafemi versus Ricky Saints, JC Jane taking on Lola Vice for the NXT Women's title, Sol Ruka taking on Laney Reed for the Speed Championship. Weaponized steel cage match, Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace, and some Tavion Heights taking on Ethan Page for the North American Championship. We're going to preview all of that. And then, of course, on Saturday, we will live react to all of that on Twitch Kick and on Facebook. So make sure that you're following all of those platforms for all of that fun goodness.
All sounds good. I've got one last question for you, Champ, before we go.
Yes, sir.
There's all this talk about Edge leaving AEW, aka Cope. His contract has, I believe, expired, and so the people are wondering, do you think there's any chance that he is the person that goes against Cena in that last match on Saturday, that you might end up going to?
Fightful already kind of disproved that. His contract is supposed to expire next month, but his break that he's going on is because he's filming there's a Netflix series that he's filming. Not a Netflix series, it's a Disney Plus series that he's filming. So that's why they wrote him off with the attack on his wife. And he said he's got to go be with his family is because he's going to film this Disney Plus series and stuff like that. But I think that the rumor has been debunked that he's leaving AEW to go be John Cena's last opponent in WWE. But then again, never say never. That we can sit here and say
a one-off. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even have to necessarily make a lot of appearances for it.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. But at the same time, like I said, I think that it's not going to be. They're not going to. I think that he's going to stick around with AEW and things like that. I think he feels like he has some unfinished business in AEW. He's got a lot more freedom and everything in AEW. So I don't think he's going to go back to WWE just for a one-off to face John Cena. But again, I say it a lot, and you say it a lot in wrestling, never say never. So we can sit here and say, oh, he's just doing this to go film a movie. And then next thing you know, Saturday night's main event, Cena's in the ring. And next thing you know, you hear, you think you know me. And then he comes running out there. It's like, oh, shit. So never say never, but apparently that's not the case.
Yeah. All right, I just wanted to get your take on that one because I just saw that today. I was like, oh, that's interesting, timing-wise of when it expired.
And we're also on 302. We're going to be talking about the news that came out that former TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich was accused of domestic violence against her ex-partner. She actually put out a statement regarding that, so we're going to be discussing that. And then Sip kind of teased it when he talked about what the final thoughts are going to be. Normally final thoughts are we each talk about a topic, whether it's wrestling related or non-wrestling related, but we're going to have a discussion after Tony Khan announced this week that he is bringing in AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. We're going to have a discussion about that, and trust me, it's not going to be a complimentary one, at least on my end. Tune in to find out what I have to say about that.
For sure. All right, I think we're actually not going to raid out tonight. I think I'm just going to end the stream just because it's late. I've got to get doing some post-stream work. But, Champ, it's been fun. I really enjoyed having Sith's take. Hopefully I'm wrong and they just curb stomp Arizona. Not Arizona, sorry, Atlanta. Sorry, Arizona's on the screen. But we'll see how it all goes and how it all shakes out again. We'll be back 10 o'clock on Monday, approximately that time. And we'll do something like this where it's an hour to 2 hour football show. And then hockey will be coming back in October. But thank you again, everyone, for tuning in across all the different platforms. Let people know if they're looking for the audio stream. We don't actually have it on audio platforms anymore, but you can always go to my YouTube channel and catch it, or for 30 days it's on Facebook, and for 2 months it's on Twitch, and it's on Kick for 2 months as well. So but YouTube will have it long term, and those are the ones we post on our website. I'm a couple weeks behind on our website. I need to go through and post the last couple of weeks on there, but again, you can always go check it out on YouTube or the VODs on any of the channels. But we appreciate the love and support, as always. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Definitely go check out Champ's shows over this weekend. And we'll be back on Monday at 10. Have a great one.
Go again.